Back goes Krieger. Here comes the rush again. He rolls out, looking downfield. Ayers went out there. He's got a man down there. It is caught for a touchdown. Gary Sevier just waiting for that one to come down, Lee.
Preview. A look at the prospects of each of the city's 5 high school football teams here on the eve of the 1994 season. Stop number 3 on our citywide tour of the 5 camps is Dearborn High, where the Pioneers are hard at work preparing for their season opening game with Livonia Churchill. Dearborn High put together a productive campaign a year ago, posting a 6-3 ledger and earning a second-place finish in the white division of the Michigan Mega Conference. But their season ended on a disappointing note when they bowed to Wyandotte in the final game, missing a berth in the state playoffs. This season, the Westsiders will pursue the white division crown with a nucleus of experienced players. What does 8th-year coach Chuck Boffman feel are the strengths of this year's club?
We have senior line coming back, which is a strong point for us. We have two of our captains, Dan Ballesteri and Ben Crook. We have Kevin Watts and Mike Zimmerman. So we have 4 returning linemen. Another strong point offensively returning is quarterback. I always like to bring your quarterback back. We have Kevin Krieger. He's our 3rd captain. Backfield, we have Mikey Alloway is our tailback. Another senior back there is Paul Mazzara at fullback, and he's looking real strong and quick. And we're pretty excited about those people that are returning. Plus, we're adding a few to it, which is some speed. Ryan Wilkinson is a wide receiver, and he just flat out flies. So we're going to be fast, and we're going to have some returning linemen, and put them together, and you're thinking the offense should be fairly productive.
Quarterback Kevin Krieger, a junior, stepped into the starting role late in his freshman year. How is he approaching this season?
Obviously, our first goal is to win the league. That's always got top priority. From there, we'd like to get to the state playoffs and make a run as far as we can. Individually, I'd like the team to have the best season that they can, and I think I'll have the best season I can if the team has the best season that they can. We should be a lot more experienced this year. I think that we've worked a lot harder in the off-season. We have a bunch of interior linemen that are all seniors. All of them played last year, and they worked real hard in the off-season, and we're going to look for them to lead us wherever we want to go.
With an experienced quarterback like Krieger, the Pioneers can be expected to put the ball in the air quite a bit. Assistant coach Mark Wojciechowski, who works with the receivers, agrees.
There's no question with Kevin Krieger as our quarterback, we'll try and put the ball in the air as often as we can. He was very successful last year in that he only had 1 turnover in the passing game. He makes very, very good decisions, and I think our receiver core is going to be quite of a benefit to him. We have people like Brian Kelp as a split end returning, Andy Haas as a tight end playing for us, and Ryan Wilkerson is going to be a flanker for us. The receiver core has good hands and good speed. Speed is going to be a primary requisite in trying to get the ball up the field. Last year we threw a lot of underneath patterns and a lot of shorter routes. Our speed wasn't quite what it was this year. So basically what we're going to try and do is force people deep with our speed, and then attempt to using Kevin as a running back also. We think he's a threat as a runner and as a passer, and so we'll sprint out this year, try and attack the corners with him, throwing and passing the ball. Being the point guard in the basketball, if you can remember Charlie Ward from Florida State this past year, with his ability to get the ball up the field, make decisions, move left or right, we think we're going to have a very talented offense this year.
On the defensive side of the ball, Boffman feels the Pioneers are solid.
Defensively, we get Ben Crook and Dan Ballesteri as our returning down people. We're adding a strong linebacker to our group out there this year. Is Rami Abusala, is a junior. We're pretty sturdy across the front, but again, speed is a big part of it. Our secondary with Alloway and Krieger and Wilkinson. There's just a lot of speed, and we're hoping the big people up front come through. And there's some returners, mentioned the linemen, so we're hoping that they come through and play real sturdy for us, and that speed in the secondary prevents any type of big plays happening. So we're excited about size and returning people, but I think speed is the thing that's gonna hurt most opponents. There's a lot of people that can move.
Dearborn High's schedule is both challenging as well as interesting, and it contains the Pioneers' first home night game in 40 years.
Yeah, our schedule this year is the same as last. We open with Churchill, and that's always the big game for you, trying to prepare for the opener. So right now we think that's the toughest one on our schedule. And then everyone else on the schedule, the other 8 teams are all involved in the Mega League. Our closing game is not a crossover or a league game, but it's Wyandotte, who is part of the Mega League. We have our league champions last year was Etzel Ford, and we came in second place. So we're looking to at least reverse that or put ourselves on top. So another big game for us down the way would be Etzel Ford. We play our second game of the year. We play Southgate. Then we play Taylor Kennedy in Garden City, Redford Union, and Etzel Ford. We cross over with Lincoln Park and back in the league with Truman, and we end up with Wyandotte. And in there, we're throwing in our homecoming game is going to be a Saturday game with Redford Union, but we get to put in a night game this year. We have our first night game at Dearborn High, bringing in portable lights. We're going to play Garden City September 22nd, I'm sure it is, on a Friday night.
With a nucleus of experienced players, Baughman has established predictable goals for this year's club.
Well, in the off-season, all the players decided that we were going to go after 3 things. One, they knew they could hit people, and they wanted to be the best hitters in the state of Michigan. That was their personal goal. And then, providing they can do that with a few other things, the next 2 goals would kind of take care of themselves. They wanted to be the league champions, and then they wanted to return to the state playoffs. It's been a couple years since we've been there. So they want to return, and they want to be league champions. And now, as we started practice, they're looking pretty strong, and they got the right attitudes going. And it's almost in their minds now that those aren't goals anymore, that they're expectations, and now we're going to have to set new goals. What do we want to do? If that's an expectation, where do we go with our next goals? And we haven't set those yet. But pads come on Monday, and I know a huge goal is for any of these other things to happen. Livonia Churchill's coming up real fast, and that's the one we're looking at. We're spending our time getting ready for them.
Dearborn High coach Chuck Baughman has set some lofty goals for this year's edition of the Pioneers, but those goals are easily obtainable with a nucleus of experienced ball players and an experienced quarterback in Kevin Krieger. Next up on CBI Sports presentation of Pigskin Preview, we'll look at the Divine Child Falcons, who will be coming off a 4-4 record and looking to improve on their position in the Catholic League's AA division. Stupankus, option, tucks it in, puts his head down. Did he get in? Touchdown, Divine Child!